names like Gaumont and Odeon and Roxy, and Roxy was the best name.
I tried, but I could not find a way.
It does feel like such a reaction to what was going on. It feels like a very deliberately, beautifully manipulated response to the boredom and the sort of the kind of denim cock rock of that time.
It was like guys looking rather sullen, standing in a back street. You know, was the kind of way people projected themselves. And I thought, well, to have some fabulous woman on the cover would be much nicer.
This record was a bolt out of the blue. Nothing, and it landed like, well, there was nothing anyone had ever heard before.
It was the first record any of us had made, so we were kind of, experimenting. We were trying out things that, trying out different styles of music, really.
And how important do you think your art background was in giving you a sort of complete, really an outsider perspective?
I think that might have had a bit of an influence in the sense that I liked collaging things. And in the music, we were kind of collaging different ideas and different styles. And, some of the songs had lots of different moods in them and changes. And we weren't afraid of halfway through a song completely changing the tempo or the mood or the attitude or whatever and going off in a different direction. And that was kind of liberating.
How important do you think it was that you'd all done other things and that you brought all of that experience to the band?
I think it was good. The fact that we hadn't. The fact that this was the first album for all of us, I think, was important, and that helped to give it a sort of freshness.
Was there a moment where you thought, "Oh my God, I'm a star"?
The day the album came out, and the local record store was full of that image. They put a lot of them, like a Warhol multiple or something, in the windows. And I remember that was the moment I felt, oh, this is fabulous. We've taken kind of art to the streets.
What happened to all the clothes?
Some of them are still around.
Please tell me you have the jacket you're wearing on the cover.
Oh, we don't have that one.
The Lurex one.
No, but we have the Top of the Pops, with the Virginia Plain one we still have, yeah.
One thing I'm curious about, one thing that is almost unfathomable in the way that music is made and released now, is that you did your second album 6 months later, and then the third album not much more than 6 months after that.
Oh, yeah.
And the quantum leap through those records.
Yeah. The first album was very much throwing ideas into the air and trying different stuff. So it is very much a collage of different ideas and sounds. The second album, although we'll talk about that next time, is very different, and you can see that it's like the following year, and we've been on the road a lot, and it's now, we're all pros. And the second album is much more focused and on a particular style has emerged, as it were.
I've always thought of you as naturally quite a reticent person.
That's me.
Did you find the element of performance something to hide behind?
Changing into costume for the shows was a great help, because it was like, felt you were getting into a character or something, and it's helped all of us actually, because we were all pretty kind of retiring.
And then wearing the most extravagant costumes.
Yeah, and Anthony and the other designers they had a field day, because they were enjoying getting an audience for their work as well.
As time passed, how did you feel about the fact that there were Roxy music, that the band had become such a huge influence, and there were Bryan lights?
Oh, that was fun. We enjoyed that. We'd be playing, in the north, say, in Scotland or whatever, and you'd see all these kids and kind of dressed up to the nines, you know, in white tuxedos and whatever, girls with hair and outfits, and it was good, it was fun, and it was a bit like a kind of a club that anybody could join. You know?
And you could see how it unsettled people. And that sense of it being, that sense of this change happening must have been, I imagine, quite exciting for somebody who'd been so engaged by people like Marcel Duchamp and Andy Warhol, people who brought sea changes in their own ways.
Yeah, it was an adventure, and we didn't really stop to analyse it or, you know, think about it too much. We were kind of doing it, you know, and always kind of on to the next idea. And
were you surprised at how the music actually resonated the way it has over the years?
Yeah, I think we probably were surprised. Yeah, lots of bands who maybe followed one direction, and others would follow another direction that we'd maybe indicated. But you know, it's all part of the change of, you know. I mean, I'd listened to so many different things, and I'd kind of, you know, taken a bit from here and from there, and that's what happens, and the next generation take it from you.